So I'm standing here in front of the Martin Luther King statue, which was set up earlier this year. Roanoke has a paradoxical racial history. On the one hand, there was no civil rights movement, no dogs, hoses, marches, or demonstrations. But on the other hand, it has had a black mayor. Now, Barack Obama cannot win Roanoke, or indeed Virginia, without getting the overwhelming majority of the black vote. But somehow he has to achieve that in this southern state without alienating too many white voters. Local activist and former principal Richard Chubb took me on a drive around town to tell me about its racial history and to reminisce about the bad old days.
And when you cross that, you had to know what you're doing after dark. When you going back in the white community, that was the divider.
Right. So, walking over this
you going
bridge.
Downtown. When you get across it downtown, there, you better be careful if it's night. You always wonder if would I have gotten that job if I had been another color. So I've been turning down jobs. I said, I bet you I would have got it. I worked beside a guy in the bakery. I worked beside a white fella. We did the same thing, and he got $15 a week. I got $7 a week.
I command you to heal right now. I command the victory of the Lord. I command the praise of to come forth from our lips right now. In the name of Jesus. I don't want that. Let us shake.
As the only institution where blacks could congregate under slavery, the African American church has always had a particular role in black political life.
In the name of Jesus! In the name of Jesus!
It was central to the civil rights struggle, but during the 60s, Roanoke was different.
Roanoke, and you'll hear people say that, well, we didn't have any fighting or any rioting. They'll tell you that a group of black men got together and a group of white men got together, and they sat in a room and they settled the civil rights movement. In other words, they got together and said, okay, we don't want any looting and burning. We're going to let you eat wherever you want to eat. We're going to let you go to the movies with us. And that was the end of it.
Legal segregation may have disappeared, but blacks and whites in Roanoke still live separately.
This is one of the two black schools still left that was built for blacks. This is Lincoln Terrace Elementary School. Mm-hmm. Now all this is black over here to the right.
I see a lot of Obama yard signs.
Well, that's the shocking part. You would have seen more other signs if it had been hung by local blacks.
Right.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Here in Roanoke, I think if the Obama campaign had to do it differently, this is what I would tell them they needed to do differently. The people they brought in to sort of head up his national campaign, because of the size of the black community, should have been as many black supervisors as white. And I think that's the first thing that I would change.
They don't know it. See, it's coming mostly from out of town. So how will they know? Because, see, a lot of people that going to vote, they already got in their minds who they're going to vote for. We got to get the grassroots. And the only way you can get the grassroots is come into town and find out who know who.
You don't want to be seen as a 100% black candidate. You want to be seen as a candidate who supports and who carries the issues of all the people. But the danger in that is this. If you don't walk that line carefully and you seem to be all-inclusive all the time, you tend to turn off at black people because they will feel that you're not paying them enough attention.
This is the local black leadership's greatest fear, that the inability of the Obama campaign to both gel and connect with them will result in Obama underperforming amongst a community that he desperately needs if he's going to win Roanoke and ultimately Virginia. People keep referring to Obama's candidacy as though it's a movement, but it's really nothing of the kind. It's a professionally run campaign with orders coming from the top down. And by the time they get to the bottom, some people have been left out. And that has given Obama a different kind of race problem that most people would have anticipated here in northwest Roanoke, the black part of town. Local black leaders say that people are excited by his candidacy, but they worry that they won't be able to mobilize or galvanize people sufficiently on election day if their local knowledge isn't properly utilized. The problem with claiming that you're running a post-racial candidacy is that you still have to deal with the modern realities of America's racial landscape.